Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health Systems, modern technology, and timeless caring. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bourke, know your rights. South Louisiana Bank, it's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. Alford and Associates, for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.
Welcome to Bayou Time. I'm Jacob DeGate, and now joining us in Baton Rouge is State Representative Jessica Domangue. Jessica, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, you're right now involved right in the middle of the start of the legislative session. Can you tell us, how's it going so far?
It's going well. It's going well. The excitement up here is just electric. People, everyone can kind of feel the winds of change coming, and there's just really, really good energy. We had a prayer breakfast this morning with the governor. And so it was just a great way to kind of kick off this session. We're just all really, really excited about what's to come.
Okay. And for this being your first legislative session, is there anything that you're taking particular interest in, or any bills that you have pre-filed or filed already?
So I filed a few bills, and I filed a few bills locally. There's one bill in particular that's pretty near and dear to my heart and near and dear to everyone's heart in Terrebonne Parish is Mr. Jimmy Venwall, was hurt in a shooting where he was an innocent bystander, and he was trying to help out with this situation. And so we're actually filing a bill so that if someone is actually intervening in a crime, and like a Good Samaritan law. And so if they're interfering with a crime and they're hurt, that they would not have to incur any medical expenses, and all those expenses would be given to the perpetrator, which we think is only right. And so I'm really excited about that bill. Of course, we have all filed shrimping bills, and we've got a lot of insurance coming up. I think the focus of the House for the next 2 to 3 weeks is going to be insurance and tort reform, though. You're going to see a lot about that.
Okay, and yeah, that certainly is a hot button issue, particularly for down south around here. You see insurance rates keep going up, and both not just homeowners, also the automobile insurance rates as well. And of course, you mentioned tort reform. Is that some of the areas that they're looking at as well?
Yes, absolutely, because I think that you can't address our insurance crisis without looking at the lawsuits that's causing the rates to be so sky high. And so we've got a package of bills. We got the insurance commissioner, Tim Temple. He's been doing a really great job. He's got a great team. And so I feel as though we're going to see some really great legislation to be able to go ahead and open that marketplace even more, especially, so that we can get some new markets before hurricane season.
Yeah, it definitely certainly would help. I know a lot of viewers out there are certainly watching that as well, hoping, more competition comes in to help get those rates down, because really, people out there are suffering for, each month, that extra cost, not only with the cost of insurance rising, you got cost of groceries as well, inflation. It's just not a good situation for everybody involved.
Yeah, and the chatter around the Capitol is that we want to get those bills to the governor's desks as quickly as possible. And so it's going to be all hands on deck for the next few weeks to really hone in on insurance.
Okay, can you tell me any committees that you've been involved with, or what?
So I'm on the Commerce Committee, and so we're kind of getting the introduction to commerce right now. I'm also on House and Governmental, which is going to be a very interesting committee to be on, because we are going to have a constitutional convention that's going to roll into the summer. We haven't mapped out exactly how the convention is going to look at this point. The leadership is working on that, but a lot of those bills are going to come through House and Governmental. So we're going to stay really, really busy through about mid-summer while having a convention, and I guess we'll have to see where that goes.
Okay, and so is the purpose of that to eventually try to form a new constitution? I know we have one that is so long with amendments as it is. It seems like each time you go vote, you got to vote for 4 or 5 new.
Yes, and if you listen to the governor's speech on Monday, he told a story of a point where there was a couple of gentlemen, and they were walking about 4 miles, and he read the entire Constitution. He said, at this point, the Constitution is so bloated it would take you to walk from here to Lafayette to be able to read the whole Constitution. And so we just want to go ahead and amend it so it makes more sense, especially for where we are in Louisiana now and where we want to go with Louisiana.
Yeah, it's certainly important, and I think if you do have that, a convention right now, some of those key important provisions that have passed that are relevant to this area, particularly with coastal restoration and everything. I think you have support from the current administration that any new constitution would keep those protections in place.
Correct. And the governor's other big promise and his big agenda for this session as well is going to be education reform. And so once we're finished with tackling insurance, you're going to see a lot of focus on education, which is going to be great for everybody. And so we look forward to seeing what comes out as far as moving Louisiana into a direction where we are closer to our neighboring states.
Yeah, and that's one area that Louisiana has always lagged behind in. Us and I guess our neighboring on Mississippi may have us outdone as the worst, but if you go to the left, Texas, they do it pretty well with public schools, and a lot of other states do. I think we can do better as well.
Absolutely. I think we all know that we can do better. And that's why we're here, is that we all really have the same mission in this group, especially the group of freshmen that I'm with. We've got a very large group of freshmen this year, and we all have the same mission. We all came here because we want to make Louisiana better.
All right. We do have to take a quick break, but we'll be back with more in just a few seconds. Stay tuned.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health Systems, modern technology, and timeless caring. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bourke, know your rights. South Louisiana Bank, it's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. Alford and Associates, for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.